All right, what's going on, everybody? We got Shot of Sports going on. We got Donovan. We got Billy. We got DC. Going on. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Sure.
Great week I tell you. Great week.
Oh, cool. So we're going to start off with baseball like always because that's postseason we got going on right now. We got Padres and Phillies tonight, 7:37 p.m. Eastern time on FS1. And last night we had Yankees and Astros. Astros taking a commanding 2-0 lead with a 3-run home run by Alex Bregman in the third and never looked back after that. Ryan Presley gets his third save of the postseason. And Fremdale Valdez, another brilliant outing.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think the big thing. I think the biggest thing with that game is the strikeout differential. 11 strikeouts for the Yankees, 2 for the Astros. You're not winning any games doing that.
I don't think the Yankees got Garrett Cole going tomorrow on Saturday, but they got Christian Javier going. So that's another elite arm that they got. And it's like they just keep rolling the elite arms out. So it's like, man, what can you do?
Yeah. Yep. Go big or go home, right?
Literally.
Tonight, the must-win game for the Yanks. The must-win game for the Yankees, and I think that they'll figure out a way with Garrett Cole on the mound.
Oh yeah, for sure. They got a must-win tomorrow. It's Saturday. That game will begin at 5:07 p.m. Eastern time on TBS. Saturday, October 22nd. Everybody go tune in. You're gonna have a showdown down there in the Bronx with Garrett Cole and Christian Javier going. Tonight we got Padres and Phillies. We got Musgrove going against their Phillies Suarez. Musgrove just been electric this entire postseason. He just hit another level, and it don't look too good for them Phillies right now.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean they choked it at the end. I mean that fifth inning was horrendous to watch. It's definitely a difficult pitching matchup for the Phillies today. I mean Ranger Suarez, not a bad pitcher to have, but he's clearly the 3. And Musgrove, like you said, this postseason has been outstanding. The good thing for the Phillies, though, is they match up better against righty pitchers than they do against lefties. So I believe that they will figure out a way to pounce on Musgrove later in the game. I think early Musgrove's going to shove. I think if the Phillies win this game, I don't think it would not surprise me if they win in 5. I think that if the Padres win, I mean, it's absolutely good to be going back to San Diego, but I do believe that this is a must-win game for the Padres more than it is for the Phillies tonight because it's Musgrove against Ranger Suarez. You have to take advantage of that.
Sure. One more interesting stat. We got Yankees are 9 for 65 with 30 Ks in the ALCS at the plate. They've played the Astros 9 times and haven't had a lead for a full inning in all 9 games that they played them. So that is an interesting stat. They are 9 for 65 at the plate in this ALCS. That is atrocious.
They're definitely the underdog in that series, which is, I mean, you don't talk about the Yankees being an underdog very, very often.
Literally.
Yeah. Astros, they should win it all this year. I mean, they're so good top to bottom. They're deep. They got a great bat. I mean, Bregman, I felt like it was quiet all postseason, and then he hits a 3-run bomb. And then, their pitching staff they're deep in the bullpen, and their starting pitching. Verlander's going to win the Cy Young, but like you said, Valdez and Javier, and they just got guys everywhere in that pitching staff. It's just I don't know how you beat them in a 7-game series.
Man, they taking everybody lunch money. That's all I gotta say. This is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I say Philly's gonna lose. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm sorry.
You said that against the Braves, man. You've been hating on the Phillies.
I say Phillies are gonna lose. I feel like it's gonna be. I don't know. It's probably gonna be at like who is it? Padres, right? No, not Padres, right? Who is it?
Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. It's gonna be San Diego Astros, but I think Astros is gonna lose the whole thing. San Diego's gonna take it.
Oh wow, that's a bold prediction.
That is bold. That is bold. To me, I think San Diego, if they don't win this game today, they lose the series. If they win, I think it's an even playing field to me because, again, Nola had a bad inning and the pitching staff overall had a really bad inning. But take that bad inning away, the Phillies have given up 2 runs the entire series so far.
Yeah.
So I would say that with Wheeler, who's going to play another game, our bullpen, for the most part, this postseason has played tremendous. So has the Padres, though. But I think for the Phillies to win, they're going to have to make a game a pitching game. The Phillies can hit the home run ball better than the Padres can. But when the Padres lineup gets going and they can hit it across the yard, you can't beat them. So the way for the Phillies to win, they have to win the pitching. They got to win it through the pitching.
Yeah, it is tough. In LCS, Game 3, series tied 1-1. Musgrove, Suarez, Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, 7:37 p.m. Eastern Time. FS1 if you can't make it.
The bank's going to be rocking.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to NBA. What we got, Meech? What we got, DC?
NBA, big injury updates. First of all, the one they're going to be missing, I say I'm going to start with the Hornets. Melo Ball is going to be out right now. He's out with an ankle injury. He missed the first season opener, and he's going to be out this next game versus the Pelicans as well. Jamal Murray is on a day-to-day injury with his knee, as well as Jokic with his day-to-day finger injury. And I say the big one for the Bulls right now, they can't afford Zach LaVine to be out right now. He's out right now due to injury to his knee as well too. And Lonzo still not being able to practice and not be able to be there with the team. I don't know what the Bulls' outcome is going to be, but hey, the Bulls. I mean, I felt like a lot of good things last year. Hopefully, the same good things this year. But they have LaVine on the court. Hopefully, he gets back healthy from that. I say those are like my main big injury updates on that. But I say the biggest story of all, of course, it has to be the Lakers. Yeah, how do you? Before I even go into that, do y'all feel like they can make it to the playoffs? You feel like they're a playoff team this year?
Nope.
It's really hard to even say that right about now because it's so early. Yeah. What you're seeing from that team right now is it's a head scratcher. I mean, you can't even. It's hard to put into words what's going on with that team right now. I mean, Westbrook 0 for 11 yesterday.
Three guards, 1 for 25. Noon, Beverly, and Russ. Beverly, yeah, of course, he's not going to be the scoring type, but he can score his buckets. But they need him for defense. But come to find out, I just realized, guess who they're missing at the guard position? Have anybody noticed? Dennis Schroeder is out right now with the injury. And so he's a 15-plus, 7 assist guy right there. So if you have him on the court, he's going to contribute and he's going to push the ball. I feel like he's the one, if he's back, when he gets back, he needs to be starting. I don't care what nobody says. Start him over Russ or Beverly. That'll be perfect because he has good defense as well too. But he's out as well. So that kind of put a spike in the guard spot. But also they have a center that's out as well too and a power forward. So backup down low is going to be limited for the Lakers and they're rebounding. So they have to be aggressive with attacking everything they do because if they can't get the fouls, they won't be able to get the rebounds, at least contest for the offensive rebounds, I say.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I would say for the Lakers, though, if they don't make a trade, they don't make a move, they're not making the playoffs. They're not making the play-in. LeBron is great. We all know LeBron is one of, if not the greatest player. I don't think he's the greatest player of all time, but he's definitely one of. And Anthony Davis, when healthy, is one of, if not the best big man in the NBA today. And Westbrook, just to me, it never fit when they started it. It doesn't fit now. I don't think Westbrook's a bad player. I think Westbrook, all in all, defensively, when you watch the game, he had 5 steals. He was making a bunch of plays on defense for them last night. The issue is you can't go 0 for 11 as the starting point guard in the NBA anymore. And to me, he should not be. To me, the Lakers, whatever they have to do, get rid of Russ. You just have to get rid of him. He clearly does not work with the team. And I think what you said, though, Pat Bev, great defensive player. But you can't have a great defensive player at one guard position and then the other guard position be Russ, who can't shoot at all. They have no spacing with this team because they can't shoot one bit.
Let me piggyback off that for you. The past 2 games this week, the Lakers were 19 for 85 from 3. That's 22%. That's awful.
Can't happen.
That
can't happen.
If you even go try to contend, that cannot happen. That there is no excuses for going 19 for 85. You are an NBA professional basketball player, and you can't shoot a 3-point shot. You can't hit a 3. You're a guard.
And one of those games, one of those games was against arguably the best shooting team in the last decade, and the Warriors. So you shooting 22% from 3 against a team that'll easily shoot 35-40% all around, all 5 positions. You're not going to win.
That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. 19 for 85.
Let me triple piggyback off of that, because they're 0-2, sitting at the bottom. I say the only thing they have right now riding on them, like literally LeBron and Anthony Davis have to throw them on their back. Yeah, I was like looking at some stuff. They was like, hey, why not do a 3-team trade for Russ? You know what I'm saying? Send De'Aaron Fox to whatever team. I was like, why not send 2 guys from the Bulls somewhere else, send De'Aaron Fox over to the Bulls, and then send Russ over to the Kings. That'd be perfect right there.
I think Russ definitely needs to be with a young team.
The Kings would be perfect.
I think the Kings would be a great fit for him, just because I don't know how their shooting is, so I don't know if they'd be able to cover his lack of shooting. But he has the ability to be a leader. I mean, we saw that when he was at OKC after Durant left. He definitely has that ability to be a leader. And I mean, he has the experience. He's been in the league for years, and you got you put him on a young team, he's going to develop those guys.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when LeBron got double teamed down the stretch, and when he passed to others and they put up shots and they keep missing, and like these are not bad shots. These are wide open shots that they are just hitting the backboard and hitting the back iron of the rim. These are wide open shots. You could see when you was watching the game, if you was watching the game, you could see LeBron was double teamed and he would pass it to them. And then when they would miss, you could see he would always be like, you would always see his body deflated. And you would see him put his head down and just run down the court. Like, he's in this by himself.
Yeah.
He's in this by himself.
My mama can probably make that in her sleep. I'm sorry.
Which that you said it perfectly right there. That's LeBron's thing. I mean, you look at Cleveland, you look at the Heat when they were winning their championships. LeBron always had somebody to kick out to, because for years now, LeBron has been the guy in the league. So if he gets the ball and he starts driving, 9 times out of 10, they're going to double team him. Because you have to. Yep. When you're the greatest player in the league, you're going to get double teamed. So what that leaves is him having to kick out to somebody for an open 3. And, I mean, like you said, Jalen, the Lakers just aren't making their shots.
Yeah, wide open shots. They're just hitting the back iron, hitting backboards. That is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it.
And like Jay said, don't nobody want that contract.
Nobody wants that contract. When you hitting the back iron and you hitting the side of the backboard and stuff, and you can't even hit a 10-foot jumper, bro. Man. Like, and don't nobody want that. Don't nobody want that contract, especially when you missing shots like that. Like, come on.
Like, that's that is the thing with Russ, is it's going to be extremely hard for them to move him, because his contract is so big, they're either going to have to suck it up and buy him out and be pretty much screwed for the next couple of years financially, or hope to God that somebody's willing to take that contract.
Yeah, they're the ones that made that investment. I mean,
yeah.
I got two more quick pieces.
Hold on, one second. We got back to piggyback off that game. This was the Clippers opening. The Clippers look good. You know, Kawhi's back. He went 6 for 12, shooting 14.7 rebounds. John Wall has stepped up. He's back. I was watching the game, and he was just explosive into the lane and explosive jumpers.
It's a 360 layup.
And crazy layups behind the back passes. Wall is back. He went 7 for 15, shooting 15 points. And another stat on that Clippers-Lakers series, Clippers have won 33 of the last 40 games against the Lakers. The Lakers have lost 32 of the last 44 games dating back to last season. It's over with. It's done. They're not going nowhere no time soon. I'm sorry,
I gotta
Brian.
say this with the Clippers. I got two quick things. With the Clippers, John Wall stays healthy. That team can stay healthy at all. They are a top 3 team in the West. To me, without a doubt. That's how good they are.
Like a top
now with the Lakers.
NBA.
Oh, yeah. Now, with the Lakers, serious question, because we're talking about if they can make the playoffs or not. I think we can easily name 10 teams better than the Lakers today. Right? In the West. I think we can
about 15, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying in the West alone, you can name at least 10 teams. It takes you only need to get in the top 10 to make the playoffs in each conference.
I'll put it like this. Everybody above them right now is the better team. I mean, they're 0-2. They're down at the bottom. Everybody above them has to be doing something. Even if they got one loss, they're still probably doing something better than the Lakers are right now. They need to figure it out.
And any team
is like people
Russ on their team right now.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we're making fun of the Lakers a lot and, like, deserve it. Absolutely, they deserve it right now. But, like, some people probably say it wasn't a blowout with the Clippers. It was close at the end. It's like they had Kawhi and John Wall coming off the bench. They weren't even completely, like, fall into the game. And you can tell the Clippers are right now, they're trying to – we're going to keep load manage Kawhi. They might leave Kawhi on the bench till January because it's like we want him to be healthy for the playoffs. They know they're making the playoffs. So let's have him healthy for it. And, same thing with John Wall. Same thing with John Wall. And yeah, you got it.
And for everybody that listens to this, what do y'all think about load management? Go ahead and drop it in our comments because I heard a lot of comments about people in load management not liking it and some people liking it. And I was talking to my dad the other day and he does not like the load management one bit. So whatever y'all think about load management, go ahead and drop that down in the comments real quick. The last thing to say on that Clippers and Lakers, Kawhi stated him and PG don't got to bring it every single night, you know. But if they show up in the fourth quarter, they in good shape. Being stars in their roles and everybody being great in their minutes. That's exactly what he said at postgame. So that tells you right there they're going to go far in the playoffs.
100%.
I want to comment on the load management thing. I think that's a very generational thing. I mean, you look back late 90s and before, really. I mean, even closer to now. You can go back further than that, but you know, it's back then. It was not very common. It wasn't a very common thing. I mean, you would play through anything. I mean, I know he's Michael Jordan and everything, but the flu game, I mean, he's throwing up anytime he comes off the court and everything like that, but he still played through it. And then he's considered the GOAT, right? And then you take LeBron James and, you know, he gets a little cramp and has to get carried off the court. You know, it's I mean, it's a very different thing nowadays, but I would say I have to be a fan of it. Yes, it sucks being a fan because that means you're not guaranteed to see your favorite player play anytime you go and buy a ticket. But I think for the athletes as people and not the athletes as a show, I think it's a good thing. They're going to take care of their health and they're going to be healthier in the long run after they're done playing. I played basketball since I was 3, so I know the toll that basketball takes on the body. And it's, you don't think it takes as big of a toll as it does, but your knees get shot. Jumping up and down like you are, and if you're not using the right mechanics, take Zion for example. Foot surgery. Arguably one of the highest jumpers in the league right now, and him being as big as he was his rookie season. Coming all that weight coming down continuously on his feet. It's no wonder he had to have surgery. So it definitely a fan of the load management just on the player's health side of things.
Go ahead, Mitch. You said you had 2 more things.
Yeah, and I'm a piggyback off that Zion. Zion he did have it in his last preseason game. He was day-to-day on an ankle injury, but he's fully back, 100% healthy. Zion did play his first game. When he played, he dropped 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists on his debut. But also piggybacking off of him with that was Brandon Ingram with 28.7 rebounds, 5 assists. And I tell you this, I say the Pelicans might be a top 5, top 10, top 10 team. I say if Zion stay healthy, their offense is developed way more than what it was, but their defense has always been there. So with their defense is there with Zion on the court and their offense and him helping out, I guarantee they're going to be the top 5, top 10 team. I don't know. They might be one of the best defensive teams, in my opinion, on that. So I say really be looking out for the Pelicans because, man, they're really in their bag. Think about it. They just beat the Nets, like a team that they should be blown out by. My squad, you know what I'm saying, easily should have been a blowout. But it's like once you get the groove and you're doing what you're doing and you can play with the best players, the people that you know, and you stick defense, do what you got to do, look what happens. You beat some of those best teams that you never thought you'll be able to beat. So I say if they keep playing like they play, it's all good right there.
I think we've said it twice now in just talking about the last 2 teams that we've talked about. Clippers and now Pelicans. And I will say this: it is still early in the NBA season, so you never really know what's going to happen, 2 months from now. But the key for the Pelicans is to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And in any one of those top players that they have, if one of them goes down, they're gonna have a tough go of it. I think. I will say Zion surprised me by still playing in the first game. I think he must have watched the podcast or something and said, "Screw you, Donovan." But he definitely surprised me just by playing in general. And we had talked about it already. We knew he had the scoring capability that he did, but his stat line didn't really surprise me. But him actually playing and being in the game and not taking the time off to heal that injury completely, if it wasn't, really surprised me.
He also played 31 minutes as well too. Wow. So I say that's good, but at the same time, him being off his ankle injury and his foot surgery, him being out for literally almost a full 2 years, I say his load management should at least be, I say, about anywhere from 22 to 27 minutes right there.
Yeah, I think he was definitely over his load management there, but he's gonna know. He's going to know his body, and the coaches are going to hopefully listen to him as far as what his body can't do when it's hurt and healing and coming off the 2 years. So,
yeah, I'll say this though, like you said, maybe 31 minutes is a little bit too much, but it was more than Ben Simmons. Yeah, that guy. It was been out for 2 years. It was been out for over a year. Yeah, that guy. Fouled out, too, with 4 points. That's great, isn't it? That is awesome.
Hey, let me say, more than Russ. more
No, you're not wrong. But to be fair, Ben took 3 shots that probably were right under the rim. And I didn't watch the game, to be honest, but to me, I mean, look, Ben Simmons is an incredible defensive player. He's a great athlete. He can pass the ball all over the place. But when you got to ask that man to do anything when it comes to shooting the ball, he's not going to do it. And he's very equipped to quit on you. We've seen it in Philly. We've seen it at LSU. And we're going to see it again in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
let me put you back
off that. I agree 100%. I think the Nets took a risk on taking him and trading Harden. I mean, both those players were kind of the same thing and in the same situation, just one for one team, one for the other. As far as wanting to quit, I think I definitely 100% think that Philadelphia came out on top on that deal. Ben Simmons is no work ethic whatsoever. He knows that he can't shoot. He has no confidence in his shot, and that's why he doesn't shoot. And he has no real drive to change that. I mean, if you look at LeBron, his first couple of seasons, god awful shooter from beyond 3, god awful shooter from beyond 3. Totally a one-dimensional player, had to be driving or pull-up jumper from right around the paint. But he worked on it. And now he has that three-point shot in his arsenal. Ben Simmons, if he gets the ball, you can take 3 steps back if he's anywhere outside of the paint. And you can let him shoot that thing, and he's, airmailing it every time. Yeah. He cannot shoot.
Hold on. I agree with some of the stuff, but I disagree too. Like, I agree with what you're talking about with the shooting aspect and everything. I've seen him in warm-up shooting threes, perfect, nothing but net, but he's not going to take those in a game. Because I feel like when we played when we was younger, you shot the threes, I got the ball under the basket and laid it up. It's like, I feel like when you know your game and you know what you need to do for your game, you go play to your game and to your capability. Like, I know when I was growing up, I never could shoot the 3, but I can tell you this, nobody can stop me from driving to the basket either way. You know what I'm saying? So if I can make my move and get to the basket, there's no stopping me. Donovan, if he hits you with a step back, you might as well just start running down the court because that mud already going in. I'm just being honest with you. So it's like, I say yes, he doesn't have the 3, but I say he's a point forward. When he was with Philly, he bring down the ball. He can score those shots. He can make those moves and get to the basket. That's what I want him to do. I want him to do that.
Yeah, he's not even listed as a forward. He's listed as a 6'7" point guard.
Yeah, I know, because he's a point. He's a point forward. That's why, though.
Yeah. Listen, I'll say this though. Yes, he, like you said, when he drives to the basket, he's good. But when it matters most, that man does not want the ball anywhere near his hands. Just watch the 4th quarter of the Atlanta Hawks series. He took 1 shot in 7 games in the 4th quarter as your starting point guard.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
But
that's the difference. He's not. He doesn't have that clutch factor at all.
Not even that he has a clutch factor. He's so petrified of people making fun of him. He's so petrified of it.
Guys.
But the team, but the organization, Nash also said he doesn't care if he doesn't shoot the ball. That's the reason why he didn't get him was to shoot the ball. The reason why he got him because his defense and his capability of opening the court, spreading the court out, and being able to get to the basket and also drive and also help on rebounds. And like to attach on to that, like the main reason why the Nets lost, rebounding. Like Nash said, they not aggressive as they was last year rebounding. It's like they don't want to grab anything. Like, understand Durant, get down there. Like, man, I can say so much stuff in so many words, but I can't say it. But like, get down there. You're big too. I know you want to get up the court, fast break, yeah. But when we don't have the big man, or we only got one big man, but we got these other injuries, Durant, crash the boards, get down there, let the guards leak out, let somebody leak out, but just help out or grab a rebound, then bring the ball up the court. Like, that's the reason why most of the time they're not like it's rebounds for the Nets right now. That's the only problem that they having right now. Everything else is fine, but they just have to grab rebounds at that. That's how they're going to convert on offense.
Yeah. Safe to say we could talk about basketball all day, pretty much. We got Bulls and Wizards tonight at 7. Nuggets, Warriors. That's a marquee game at 10 p.m. on ESPN. You got Celtics, Heat, the primetime game at 7:30 p.m. And then you're gonna have the Pelicans and Hornets. Big game that they got for them to. They're both 1-0 in the season, and New Orleans is favored actually by 6.5. So we're going to jump to Bill and jump into NFL and college football. We're going to combine the two today.
One second. Game of the night is going to be Jazz and Timberwolves, by the way. I say see what the Jazz bring to the table with Colin Sexton and then see what Anthony Edwards can do with that. That's going to be a good matchup. So I say game of the night right there.
Go ahead, Bill.
All right, well, we're going to start off with college football. Just a little quick rundown. Undefeated Syracuse, I should say, is heading to undefeated Clemson. We got the 14-5 matchup. It's a big ACC matchup, trying to see who could get into the ACC championship game. Clemson is favored by 14 at home. DJ, their quarterback, has looked unbelievable this season so far. But I would say Syracuse, too, has looked pretty good I don't think anybody expected them to be 6-0 coming in, and they just beat North Carolina State last week. So I think that's a very big game in the ACC, and I think that will be a good one, too, at the 12 o'clock. Another good one. We have two good ones at 3:30. UCLA is really good, and I think that they should definitely be one of the top teams with Utah and USC in the Pac-12. They're going to number 10 Oregon. UCLA's quarterback is having an unbelievable season, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's been outstanding. And outside of the first game, Oregon's offense looks unstoppable. Oregon's favored by 6.5 at home. Also, Texas at Oklahoma State. That's a Big 12 big game. I think Texas, 5-2, if they win this game, they can maybe get to the Big 12 championship game. Texas is favored by 6 points at Oklahoma State after Oklahoma State dropped the game in overtime to TCU. And then we got 3 pretty big night games. One in the SEC. We got Mississippi State going to Alabama.
I got Mississippi State.
Alabama is favored by a lot. Mississippi State's quarterback, though, is playing unbelievable football this year. Will Rogers, 23 touchdowns to 4 picks. But hopefully Bryce Young, keeps playing the way he's playing, because then Alabama could still be contending for a playoff spot. You got Minnesota going to Penn State. That is a huge Big Ten matchup, because Minnesota, if they win this game, they could push to maybe win the Big Ten West. And Penn State's trying to stay in to maybe compete for the Big Ten East, as next week they got Ohio State. And then another Big 12 matchup, Kansas State's going to TCU. Kansas State's looked pretty good this year, but TCU and their quarterback look unbelievable. They're 6-0. TCU's favored by 3.5 at home. Also, Penn State's favored by 5, and it's their whiteout game. So that is a quick rundown through college football.
Penn State's winning their game. If it's their whiteout game, you know that stadium's going to be lit. It is every single year during that whiteout game. Who'd you say they were playing?
Minnesota.
No, yeah, they stand no chance. Penn State. Yeah, Penn State's got that game easy, in my opinion, just because of fan atmosphere. And that once that stadium starts to get rocking, that's got to mess with those opposing teams. A good amount.
I'm kind of intrigued for the UCLA-Oregon game. That one
Me too.
I mean, Oregon is actually favored in that game, and UCLA has just been phenomenal, which is crazy.
I say that might be the game. That might be the game of the night right there, the game of the day.
Oh, 100%. 3:30 game. And UCLA, they beat Utah pretty good. I mean, UCLA is very good. I think right now the Big 12, that UCLA and USC matchup that's going to be the end of this regular season is going to be unbelievable. USC they lost to Utah, and it was their defense did not play great. Caleb Williams looks outstanding this year. You got two. That's a great quarterback matchup this year with Caleb and Earl Robinson. I think that would be very good. But this game with Bo Nix, Bo Nix having a good year too. 12 touchdowns, 3 picks. He's been running all over the field. He's a great athlete. I think the main reason Oregon's favored though is because they're home. I think if it was at UCLA, I think it'd be different. But
True.
Yeah. But this could be a test. This could be a big test for them. Even though, they just beat Utah at home and they beat Washington when Washington was up at 15 at one point. But we'll see how that game goes. That's probably my favorite game of the week in college football.
And everybody stay glued to your TVs on that. Definitely tune in on Saturday. Watch all the platforms, ESPN's, Fox Sports, ABC. Yeah, just tune in. I mean, it's a list of games. It's going to be a crazy
and watch it.
Yeah,
more than likely it'll be a decent one.
Yeah, and don't forget, let us know y'all top 5 Heisman picks so far. I know I know what my number 5 spot is, but I don't know about 1 through 4 though.
Who's your 5?
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, okay. That's a bold pick. We're
gonna I can understand he's in the SWAC, but he chose his talents to go there so he can make a name for the SWAC and for all the HBCUs. But you still got to understand he's still a talented quarterback.
And
think about it. Like before the last week games, he had more touchdowns and more throwing. He had like a 250 plus more passing yards, and I think like 2 or 3 more touchdowns than what's his name? Bama's quarterback. It's like I can understand, but I feel like some of these small teams or like some of these other schools, you still cannot count them out. Like I feel like even though they're not as big as Bama, Clemson, all these schools, feel like you still can't count them out because just that one underdog, you know what I'm saying, might be the biggest thing that come out of the draft. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you never know.
I don't think
he gave you his number. He gave you his number 5 on his list. We're gonna have that segment called DC's updated Heisman. So we're gonna have that every show. He got his number 5, so he's gonna give y'all number 4 next week. Go ahead, Donovan. You was gonna say something?
I was gonna say just on your pick there. I think he should definitely be in the talks for it. I mean, if you look at the scores of those games, they're blowing them out. I mean, it's not even a contest. I don't think in 3 years that school's going to be in the SWAC anymore. Just because that they're absolutely dominating their competition. Deion Sanders has done a lot for that program for sure, and the school in general.
Exactly.
It's just I don't think he should win it because of the fact that he's not in one of the powerhouse SEC, ACC, any of those conferences. But it's definitely that definitely boosts his stats, and I think his stats would be a lot different if he were in a different conference. But based on the way he's been playing, he should be in the conversation.
Yeah, and I say just a small comment on that. And everybody, if you say, "Oh, Jackson State, they always going to win," no, I don't want to hear they're always going to win because before they even got there, they've been winning games, but not as much. But when he brought his talents and Deion Sanders came in and started recruiting players, that's when why do you think he has the number 1 defensive end and he stole from Alabama? Why do you think he stole Travis Hunter, the number 1 receiver? That's not even a receiver. He's playing corner on the defense side of the ball. So think about if he played both sides. Be absolutely even more demolished. I think they'll probably put up 100 points, even if so. So I don't want to hear nobody say, "Oh, they have an easy schedule. This is a miss." No, they finally have the talent and getting the talent and having these guys. Because why? Because everybody's trusting the process of what Deion Sanders is offering to the team. I'd say, to be honest, I say the only thing that they're lacking, they just got to get that O line a little bit better. Everything else is in place. Like I said, they're stealing guys from these D1 colleges and D1 offers. I'm like, if you're getting these D1 players, why not going against a bigger school? I say ACC. Why not Jackson State?
Why not? I mean, like I said, we're gonna have that segment every show. That's DC's Heisman. He just gave y'all number 5, Shedeur. Go ahead, Bill. We got a few more minutes. Quick with the NFL, real quick.
Well, Thursday night happened last night, and we actually saw points. How about that? 42-34 final. Kyler Murray, after him and Cliff Kingsbury looked like they wanted to rip each other's heads off, their offense went on a tear. Kyler Murray didn't even have to play that great. I mean, they ran the ball for 137 yards. Eno Benjamin looks like he could really play. You can see the difference, though, with the Cardinals, with D-Hop playing. And that defense getting back-to-back pick sixes on Andy Dalton. One of them really wasn't his fault. It was a drop by the receiver. But that Cardinals team, when they want to turn it around, they could be really good and really electric. Right now for the Saints, they're just banged up everywhere. And you can clearly see that they miss Sean Payton as their head coach. But keep going through Sunday's game. Just go a little quick rundown. I mean, Bengals, Falcons, I think that's a very intriguing game. Falcons this year are undefeated against the spread. Bengals are favored by 6.5 at home. I think that game is going to be very close. Lions going to Dallas. It looks like Dak Prescott will return for the Cowboys. So that should be a very interesting game to watch to see if Dak is all the way there. Colts at Titans. Titans beat the Colts earlier in the year, so it's a big AFC South matchup. Packers at Commanders. Can the Packers get it back together? We'll see. And maybe can Taylor Heineke turn the ship for the Commanders? Again, we shall see on Sunday. Buccaneers going to Carolina. Bucs are favored by 13 points. This is the third straight week that Tampa Bay has been favored by double digits. And both the other games, they did not win the spread. So take that for what you want. Giants at Jacksonville. I think that's a very good game. I think Jacksonville is tough physical, even though they've lost their last 3 games. They lost them pretty, defensively, they've looked good, but offensively, they just look very sloppy. So I would say that could be a very intriguing game. It's in Jacksonville, so I think that could make it even more interesting. Cleveland going to Baltimore, AFC North matchup. We know how those are going to go. Can the Ravens hopefully finish a game in the fourth quarter? And can Jacoby Brissett maybe hold the fourth down enough for the Browns to win? Jets at Broncos. I think coming into the year, I think we all thought Denver would blow this game out. But Jets actually, they might be good. The Jets actually might be very good. And Denver, with Russell Wilson, somehow look worse than with Teddy Bridgewater last year. Texans at Raiders. Raiders need this win. For them, their season to get back on track. It's rough for them to start 1-4. Chargers, Seahawks. Seahawks are better than what we think. Chargers, a little banged up, but also a little sloppy as well. Hopefully they can get the win for their squad. And the game of the week, Chiefs at the Niners, with the Niners now getting Christian McCaffrey. They now become even more dangerous. I believe right now that the Niners and the Eagles, as of today, are the 2 best teams in the NFC right now. Steelers at the Dolphins, and I mean also Kansas City will. I hope maybe they'll probably rebound against the Niners, but the Niners also looking to rebound after a loss at Atlanta. Steelers, Miami, looks like Tua's coming back to play. Kenny Pickett will be back to play. Will be playing for Pittsburgh on Sunday, so that should be a good game. And then on Monday night, you got the Bears going to the Patriots, and it looks like Bailey Zappi will be starting again. Patriots favored by 7.5, so that is football.
Okay, that's a good rundown right there for the NFL. Let's pray my Bears beat them Patriots. We all know it's not going to happen. We all going to pray for my Broncos as well. We're going to pray for my Broncos as well. I mean, we can't afford another loss. So we afford another loss. I mean, well, you'll see me. You'll see my body print on the wall because I was probably excited to run through it. Go ahead, Donovan, with NHL. Go ahead.
Two big injury updates. Colorado Avalanche, their captain's out 12 weeks. He just had knee surgery, so he's out for 12 weeks. And the Florida Panthers are losing their star defenseman for the foreseeable future up until at least mid-November. He was put on long-term injured reserve for a groin injury. Other than that, first 10 days are down in the NHL. So I want to run through the top 10 in the NHL right now real quick. Carolina Hurricanes jumped up from third to first in the power rankings. The Flames are up from 4 to 2. The Rangers up from 6 to 3. Dallas Stars up from 15th to number 4. That's a big jump, and I think that all has to do with their goalie. Their goalie's been playing absolutely incredible. .966 save percentage, 1 goal against average, and he's all they got as far as goalkeepers go. So he's in there the entire season, and he's the only one that'll be playing for him. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out later on in the season as far as fatigue and everything goes. But definitely got to keep an eye out on the Dallas Stars. Pittsburgh Penguins up from 9th to 5th. This is, that's about average for the Penguins, I think. They're kind of middle top tier of teams in the NHL. And Florida Panthers, I think this is pretty much due to Ekblad being out and, just in general, just their performance the first couple of games of the season. They dropped from 2nd to 6th in the power rankings. Bruins are up from 10th to 7th. Vegas Golden Knights been playing very well to start this season, up from 16th to 8th. And then Colorado Avalanche, like I said before, I said it last week, they're playing very, very soft. And them losing Landeskog is not going to help that at all. They still have all the talent, scoring talent in the world, but they are not playing like they were playing last year. So they are down from their previous ranking of 1 all the way down to 9th. And then my St. Louis Blues are
Let's go Blues.
They are up from 12th to 10th. They've only played 2 games, and they got a tough little stretch coming up here. They play Edmonton tomorrow, Winnipeg on Monday, and then Edmonton again on the 26th, and then turn around and play Nashville on the 27th. So they got a tough little stretch here this next week. I doubt that they stay undefeated in this next week, but we'll see. We'll definitely see how that plays out. I will say that the St. Louis Blues shocked me. Their first game played about what I expected they would play like or should be playing like the other night. But definitely that game against the Avalanche, they absolutely shocked me. They came out, they smacked the Avalanche right in the mouth, or not the Avalanche. I am so sorry. They played Columbus. That's a sad disgrace to a soft team. They opened up the season playing Columbus and won 5-3. Absolutely just dominated all but really the second period. They went into the second period up 3-1. Gave up 2 goals in that second period and got them right back in the third, and just a dominant start and a dominant finish. Struggled in that middle period. Kind of the same thing. And Meech, you watched the game with me the other night.
It was
kind of the same thing.
Overtime, man. 5-4.
Yeah, they who did they even play? I can't even remember who they played. They played the Kraken. They played the Kraken, one of the suckier teams in the league this year, the same as last year. They'd have a tough stretch as a new franchise for sure. But they opened up the game hot. They scored 2 goals in 17 seconds for the second straight game. That was in the first period. Second period, Kraken came back with a fire, and then the third period, both teams were kind of just crap, if we're being honest. And then we had Justin Falk scores that overtime do or die winning goal there. So they have surprised me. Young talent playing very well together for being young talent, and losing David Braun. Their power play wasn't very good against the Kraken, but they went 0 for 3. But they're 1 for 6 in the first 2 games of the season on the power play, which is less than desired, but it's about par for what they were doing last year. And they were second in their power play was ranked second in the league last year. And I think that has to do with us losing Braun. But still not bad. They look very strong, and they're getting good chances, just not finishing all the time. So that's all I really have for hockey this week. Oh, wait, no, I don't. One more thing. Salary cap is expected to jump by $4 million next season. So
that's going to change a lot.
Yeah, we might be seeing some big moves in free agency this year.
Yeah, and I know what you can talk about our next episode too. That they were talking about in the game as well too, about the young players and everything, keeping them down, or like the first round, rounds keeping them in the league, and everybody else keeping them down until and other teams can snatch them or whatever.
We still got a couple minutes here, right? We have everybody good for a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we got more. We got some.
Okay. So this conversation stemmed by the play-by-plays off of a massive hit that Ivan Barbashev laid out on I don't even know his first name, but on Wright for the Kraken.
He's 18.
He laid him out, and it was not a dirty hit, not a cheap hit, just plastered him straight into the boards, and this caused the play-by-plays to start talking about Wright. And this was his first NHL game, and he's 18 years old. Absolutely dominated the OHL and all the junior leagues that there are. So I mean, it's no wonder that he's in the NHL. But he's set for 6 straight games or something. Yeah, he sat out for the preseason, sat the first 2 games of their season. So he sat for 6 straight games, and they play him against the Blues, and he gets laid out and hit like that. And what they were talking about,
fully sit him though. He's only averaging 6 to 8 minutes a game, but they've been fully sitting him. They really only get him on really doing the power plays because that it helps with his speed and everything like that, and helping you to go. But my thing is
what they were saying is that the Kraken have not even dressed him for 6 games. And the games that they did dress him, they only played him 6 to 8 minutes, like Meach was saying. So it's they aren't playing a very young talent, a talent they got very high up in the draft this year. And I go just based off of the sports that I've played, and I know that it's not good to be sitting for a long time. I mean, if you go and you look at soccer, the countries in the FIFA World Cup whose players aren't playing in a league where they are playing consistently, those teams usually don't do very well in the World Cup. And it's the same thing for hockey. When you're not playing, and really any sport in general, when you are not playing, you are not developing, you are not getting any better. And they were talking about something that have to do with allowing your underage, your 17, 18-year-olds that you draft to still be able to play in the juniors, or at least send them down to the AHL. And I think for some reason with Wright, the Kraken are unable to do that. So it's a very tough situation, especially for Wright, because he is a hell of a talent. But I think his development right now is going to be stunted for sure. But yeah, no, that's what they were talking about the other night at the Blues game. Games tonight, all 3 games tonight are on ESPN Plus. We have, let me look at it again. We have the Lightning at Florida. Lightning are 1-3. Florida's 3-1. We have Detroit at Chicago, and we have Seattle at Colorado. So maybe Colorado will actually get another decent-sized win under their belt playing Seattle. Detroit should wax the floor or wax the ice with Chicago. I mean, Chicago's just trash this year. Sorry, Jalen. But
I know they're pretty bad. All they got is Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
that's really about it.
And he's in his contract year too. So they may not have Patrick Kane next year. So
they got
to the Blues.
Some draft picks that I seen that they took in this summer, but I mean, other than that, I mean, do they even have Corey Crawford still? Who knows? I mean,
nope.
Blackhawks are just atrocious.
No, they traded Corey Crawford to the Wild. I think that's where they sent him last year.
See, they lost.
Speaking of the Wild, man, they can't defend the net to save their lives, dude. Oh my God, Marc-Andre Fleury. I think they give up 21 goals in their first 3 games.
It's a thing. The Minnesota Wild were legit, like past 5 years. They've been playoff bound the past 5 years. They've been one of the top teams in the NHL in the past 5 years. And you tell me they're
still good.
Stop nobody?
In their
They'll figure it out.
4 games, they have 1 win and 3 losses, 16 goals for, 23 goals against, and all 4 of those games have been played at home.
Wow. I just gotta say, the Philadelphia Flyers, they might be all the way back. I'll just say,
yeah.
No, they stink. No, they should be bad. I love my Flyers, but they should not be very good.
They might surprise you this year. I say I'm gonna keep an eye on them. They might actually surprise you. They might have a slow start.
But one thing about the Flyers in the past, for the last 3 head coaches before this one, every year they surprise everybody and make the playoffs as like an 8 or 7 seed in the East, and then they lose in the first round, and you're like, oh, maybe there's hope, and then all of a sudden it goes downhill again. So
you can call them Lakers. You can call them the Lakers of hockey.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong.
No, the Lakers
not wrong.
Of hockey are
no, they're not the Lakers of hockey.
The Lakers of hockey are still the Maple Leafs.
I mean, the Toronto Maple Leaf. That's they like the Dallas Cowboys. That's the best.
The Toronto.
The Toronto is definitely the Dallas Cowboys. Overrated every year, and they haven't won a playoff series since the '90s. I mean, that's bad. They have Austin Matthews, who's a 60-goal guy. I mean, they got some really good players, and they just don't know how. I mean, Marner's a great player. It's just that's wild to me.
Bringing up the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs have started off the season 3 wins, 2 losses with a 14 goals for and 14 goals against. So, and only one of those games was played away.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick. Like in the East, let's go East and West. Who's the top 3 teams in each conference?
Blues, and Blues.
Yep. No. East Conference is Penguins, Rangers, Bruins. Western is Golden Knights, Stars, and
not by record. Don't give me record. I want to ask, like, you personally, who do you think are the best 3 teams in the East and the West? Like, by the end of the year, who do you think are the best 3 teams in each conference?
In the Eastern Conference, Rangers, Hurricanes, and Maple Leafs.
Really? I think by the end of the year, I agree with your first 2. I completely agree with your first 2. I'd give it to Tampa Bay.
And Tampa Bay's 1-3. They're not.
But that's right now. But dude, the last 3 years they weren't supposed to make the finals, and all of a sudden they find a way to get to the finals every year.
They are not the team that they were the last 3 years. This year,
they still got their main core though. They still got that main core. So that's what I'm banking on. In the West, can't go wrong with Calgary.
No, Calgary's going to be number 1, and then I think it'll be the Knights. And damn it, I want to say the Blues, but I got to go with Stars. I have to go.
Stars right now look great. Yeah. But I think we can both agree. We got to believe that Colorado's going to figure it out.
No.
Really? I mean, dude, that team healthy with McKinnon, as electric as McKinnon is, I think they can figure it out.
It's
Yeah.
It's the McKinnon,
It's 4 games.
Landeskog, and Cale McCarr show out there, and I don't see it. But Jalen's trying to kick us all off here, so.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Just it's time. It's,
I'll do it for him. Any last comments? Anybody got anything to say?
Yep. Anybody got any comments? Anything else?
Go Blues.
Go Birds.
I got one more comment. Hey, Billy, just be checking up on updates for the XFL too. They've been releasing a lot of updates and a lot of players.
Oh, when's that coming out? When's that league starting up? They start in February, right?
I think so. I'll have to double check on that, but I say just keep an eye out on that as well too, because I've been seeing some players that I like, that I know or like follow and stuff. They've been getting letters from teams and stuff like that to come sign contracts and come play in the XFL and everything like that. So the XFL is back, and it might be permanently back actually as well too. Now that they have a new owner by The Rock as well. So I say look at updates for that. And I say I'll hit us with a quote of today. This is not just for us. This is for everybody. The quote of the day is, "Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I will accomplish what others can't." And that's by the famous man, the wide receiver, 49ers, Jerry Rice.
All right. See you all.
Good one right there. So that's the end of that. That's the end of the show. Appreciate y'all joining us. If you got any comments, like I said, how do y'all feel about that load management stuff for the NBA? Drop it in the comments for us and go ahead and close us out, Meech.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in for another Shot at Sports with Jay, Billy, Donovan, and your boy, Meech. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit us up on social medias for questions. If y'all have any comments or anything like that, hey, we will be trying to find at least special guests coming up soon, but we want to wait for that as well too. But like I said, if you have suggestions and things you want to hear talk about on here as well too, let us know. Peace.
All right, see y'all later.
See.
See the stars.